Hello student, hope you are doing well. This is my lecture on the format of cash flow statement. So far I have discussed fund flow statement and I have solved two problems on fund flow statement. Actually, sometimes there is a confusion that cash flow statement and fund flow statement means the same thing, and sometimes even I have seen many good students make the same mistake. They confuse fund flow statement with cash flow statement, but they are totally different. Today we will focus on cash flow statement. Now, what is this cash flow statement? As the name implies, it means movement of cash, that is cash flow from one balance sheet date to another balance sheet date. Actually, just like fund flow statement, here two balance sheets will be given and we need to measure the cash flow between two balance sheet date. Generally, one opening balance sheet and one closing balance sheet will be given, and student will be asked to measure the movement of cash between these two balance sheet date. Now, question may arise, why this cash flow statement is required? Actually, it is required by the government to know whether the company is in a position to pay tax or not. Similarly, the employee of the company may be interested whether the company can pay the employee its salary or not. Similarly, the creditor may be interested whether the company will be able to pay the creditor or not. So for this reason, this cash flow statement is required. Now there are two ways of preparing this cash flow statement. One is direct method and another is indirect method. Similarly, cash flow statement can be prepared by preparing simply a statement or by preparing in a format as prescribed by the Accounting Standard 3 issued by Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Actually, most of the examination they ask to prepare the statement as per the Accounting Standard 3 issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. So today we will discuss the format given by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, that is Accounting Standard 3. Now we will be focusing the indirect method. First, here cash flow statement will be classified into three activities, that is cash flow from operating activity, cash flow from investing activity and cash flow from financing activity. Now what is operating activity? Operating activity means the cash flow that is being generated through the day-to-day operation of the business. Similarly, what is investment activity? Investment activity means the cash flow which is generated through investment. Means in this case we will assume that the company is making investment and it is garnering profit or it is earning income. Similarly, there may be cash flow from financing activity. Here it is mainly focused on the issue of share, debenture, preference share, as well as redemption of debenture, redemption of preference share. What are the term relating to this issue of share and redemption I have already discussed while discussing the fund flow statement. If you are interested to know all these terms, please refer to my lecture on that video. Now to start with this cash flow from operating activity. First we will take the net profit before taxation and extraordinary item. Now what is extraordinary item? Means which is not in the usual course of the business. So we will take this net profit and with this we will add expenses which are not relating to business and not paid in cash. Again I am repeating, expenses which are not related to business and not paid in cash. Similarly, we will deduct income which are not relating to business. And actually this we will prepare in the same manner as we did in case of fund flow statement while computing fund from operation. So this is nothing but computation of fund from operation. Now this fund from operation will need to be changed into cash from operation. This fund from operation need to be changed into cash from operation. Now how to change this fund from operation into cash from operation? We need to add decrease in current asset, but current asset will be other than cash and cash equivalent, and increase in current liability. Why we are adding decrease in current asset? Because say for example closing stock. Decrease in closing stock means we are selling stock, so in that case cash will be coming, and so this is an inflow of cash, and so it will be added. Similarly, increase in current liabilities means that we are not paying the liability at that time. Say suppose sundry creditor increases from 5,000 to 6,000. It means that we are not paying the sundry creditor, and as a result the current liability increases, and it is just it means that we have earned this 1,000 rupees, and it will be added with the cash balance. Means it is the synonym of increase in cash balance. Next, with this we need to deduct decrease in current liability and increase in current asset. But again, current asset means other than cash and cash equivalent. Now decreasing current asset means, suppose say increasing current asset means stock increases from 5,000 to 6,000. Means in that case there is no inflow of cash and the stock piled up, so as a result we are losing cash, so increasing current asset will need to be deducted. Again I am repeating, decreasing current asset need to be added and increasing current asset need to be deducted. Now then comes decreasing current liability. Decreasing current liability means we are paying off that current liability. Suppose sundry creditor was 6,000 rupees and gradually at the end it becomes 5,000 rupees. Means we have paid sundry creditors to the extent of rupees 1,000. So current liability has decreased. It means decrease in cash balance. So increase in current liabilities need to be added and decrease in current liability need to be deducted. So after all this current asset and current liability adjustment, we will get cash generated from operation. Cash generated from operation and cash from operation means the same thing. With this we need to deduct income tax paid. Now what is income tax paid? I have discussed already while discussing fund flow statement. That is, you need to prepare a provision for taxation account and the opening balance will be treated as paid during the year. Next we will have cash flow before extraordinary item. Now extraordinary item will be added or deducted depending on their nature. Then we will have net cash from operating activity. So finally we have A, that is net cash from operating activities. Then we need to compute cash flow from investing activity. Now investing activity means we are investing on something. It may be asset, it may be investment or other thing. Just like purchase of fixed asset, say purchase of long-term investment, or interest received, dividend received, means we have invested on some asset and on some securities and we are receiving interest and dividend. So the sum total will give us net cash from investing activity. Then we need to calculate C, that is cash flow from financing activity. Here we will concern with proceed from issue of share capital, proceed from long-term borrowing, repayment of long-term borrowing. It also includes redemption of preference share, redemption of debenture. What is redemption of preference share and debenture? I have already discussed while discussing fund flow statement. Redemption of preference share and redemption of debenture means basically we are paying off that debenture or preference share. Next, interest paid, dividend paid, means we are paying interest and dividend for the securities which we have issued. Next comes, after adding, we will have net cash from financing activity. So we will need to add A, B and C, that is cash flow from operating activity, cash flow from investing activity and cash flow from financing activity. This will give us the net increase in cash and cash equivalent. With this we need to add cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period. Now what is cash and cash equivalent? It means cash at bank, cash in hand and all short term investment. So these are to be added if it is at the beginning of the period with the net increase in cash and cash equivalent which we have computed. And lastly, after adding, we will have the cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. So we will have the closing cash in hand and at bank. Now we can tally with the closing cash and cash in hand and cash at bank as given in the balance sheet, and if we find that what we have computed tallies with the what figure is given in the balance sheet, it means that our sum is 100% okay. So in my next class I will discuss how to solve cash flow statement. Hope my lecture will help you to understand how to compute cash from operation, sales, also cash flow from financing activity and cash flow from investing activity, and this will help to understand the financial position of a company. And if you like my video, please subscribe my video and please post a comment that what up to what you have understood my concept and the point which you have not understood and for which you require clarification, so that I like to modify my video in my next class, in my next lecture. So I hope that you bear with me for the next coming year and regularly watch my video. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.